doing a test shoot is something that we actively promote for something like that, because it allows us to kind of like walk through the motion
Hmm.
first to get a game plan, get pre-production all nailed, and get everybody aligned before we go. And at the end of the day, the test shoot is just to protect your investment. So, if you're interested in booking a test shoot, let's talk about the benefits
Hmm.
of booking a test shoot, not just from a client side, but also from a studio's perspective as well. It's as much an interview for us as it is for them.
Yeah.
We're looking at their communication, the cadence, and all that kind of stuff. First major benefit is understanding their mood board and their lighting. I don't look at a ton of the inspo boards. Maybe you look at them way more than I do.
When we get inspo boards specifically from clients, a lot of times they're littered with different types of lighting, whether it's soft, harsh, natural light, different kind of things, or they're different kinds of tones. So whether they're warm or they're colder, or like even like our style is like more natural, but like poppy natural. And when you get that, when we receive that, we see so many different things than what the client sees. We see all of those differences, and that can kind of lead us astray. And we sometimes don't know, okay, where exactly do I need to head in the future for the shoot specifically? So the test shoot allows us to get that before on a much smaller scale and be able to explain, okay, this is what lighting, this lighting is. This is this color, this is this color. And work through a test shoot where maybe we even give them an option. Okay, here's a soft light, here's a harsh light. You can choose what you like better, so that when we go to the huge, bigger shoot, we know and we don't have to shoot two different images per photo or per SKU or whatever we're working on or whatever model or something like that. And so it kind of irons out all of that portion, which helps also with communication and that too. But it puts us on the right track with a much smaller scale than just going straight into a larger shoot without knowing what exactly direction they want to go in.
Yeah, so the reason someone is interested in booking a test shoot with us is they've either seen our work in the past and they like it. They've taken a look at our portfolio and they're either intrigued by the style, or they understand, hey, these guys are shooting a little different or shooting my style. I'm interested to see what our product looks like through their camera and their artistic approach to it. So it's a great way for them to kind of get a taste of what that would be like without
Yeah.
spending maybe their whole production budget on the actual shoot, and then realizing, yeah, this isn't the direction that we wanted to go in.
I think that's a big portion of a test shoot, is showing what that person's product looks like in the style we shoot in, especially, or even just in a professional shoot that a lot of people haven't had, or they haven't had to that level, or they haven't had video done, but they have photo done, and showing somebody else who may not be able to visualize their product. Say we're doing a gummy brand, but we found this cracker photo. We're like, dude, this is sweet. But we can see the gummies in that photo, but the client may not be able to see that. So to do the test shoot, show them how we can physically take your gummies and make this shot out of this is a much easier way to sell the rest of your shoot than just telling them you can.
Totally. And then communication's a huge one as well. Our production schedule, at the time of filming this, we're booking 3 months ahead right now, which has never happened. And we're so excited about that. When we're booking 3 months, we're kind of scheduling every day that we're going to be coming to work. We know what we're doing for the next 3 months, Monday through Friday, or on the weekends if we're traveling. We cannot leave any room for error when it comes to communication. So as much of a test shoot, on the other side of the camera, listening to this, you're testing our ability to create and perform and actually nail the shot. We're also testing things ourselves, one of them being communication and knowing how much time we're actually going to have to put in to this project. On paper, it may sound great, and we may see a vision where, hey, we could shoot this super efficiently.
Yep.
But when it actually comes down to it, having the client respond back to the emails in a timely manner or jump on calls to get approval is really important.
Each client's different, so I think that's where you're going with this. Is you're trying to learn how they communicate, and whether it's going to sometimes take 5 days to answer an email, some take 30 seconds. Sometimes it's crazy that how fast they answer. And you just know that going into it, or learn that throughout the test shoot at least. And it's way easier once you know that to be able to plan your schedule around it, to be able to plan your shoot around it. How many questions do I need to ask this meeting because we got them on a call? Because I know if I send them an email, they may not answer for a couple of days. And if we're getting close to the shoot time, that's obviously not great. So like you're saying, it's just as much of an interview for us to the client as it is for the client to us. We're trying to find out what kind of communicator they are and how best we can shift our communication to help them out.
So a test shoot's not necessarily for, people that are probably under like the $30K budget. With that, we have so many different resources built, but anytime you start getting above like 50K, 100K in a production, the shoot becomes inevitably more customized to that. So, like we've got one coming up in January that's, roughly 2,000 shots in a couple days, and it's going to require a lot of people. So doing a test shoot is something that we actively promote for something like that, because it allows us to kind of like walk through the motion first to get a game plan, get pre-production all nailed, and get everybody aligned before we go. And at the end of the day, the test shoot is just to protect your investment.
Yeah, and like it's like an investment. So you're trying to gain the trust of the client, and the client is trying to gain your trust also at the same time. So the whole thing we're working towards as a studio is to show, okay, not only can we take your product, we can make it look good, but we're also communicating effectively so that you feel comfortable the entire time, and we're turning things around at an efficient rate so that you also feel comfortable getting the things that you're supposed to be getting when you're supposed to be getting them. And I think trust is the biggest word in the test shoot. Is like, it's so much easier to prove trust by actions than just by getting on a call and telling people that you can do things without showing them.
I think one of the things that it's pretty lame about our industry is people will overpromise and underdeliver, and we've seen a lot of people that have kind of been abused when it comes to, final delivery. I believe ultimately what a client is doing is saying, can I send you product? Can I trust you? Can you take the money and deploy it correctly to get me what I need so I can be on my way and continue making money and running ads and all that kind of stuff? At the end of the day, they're just testing the quality of our product.
And I think it's a great way for us to be able to show that, as opposed to sending them straight to our website, which is obviously a great resource. It's a great way for us to show work, Instagram, YouTube, that kind of stuff. But like I was saying earlier, when you grab someone's product, especially someone who isn't super visual and they are super visual, they just need to see it, to grab their product and actually put it into practice could unlock so many more doors in their mind than just telling them, hey, look at this photo, this is really cool, we think we can do it. You know what I'm saying?
We just did the test shoot for the company up in Philadelphia, and they asked, hey, we're just asking you guys to do pictures, and then we were like, hey, this would be a really good opportunity to do video as well. So it does open up doors creatively on like, oh, well, while we've got the product in your studio, can you guys grab XYZ?
Right.
So awesome. Thanks for talking to me about test shoots.
Yeah. And like I said, I think it's a fun thing for us too. It's not just like, oh, a drag, let me make sure I can do this so we get the next thing. We get to try out new things. We get to grab new products and use them in our portfolio and different things too. So it's always a good time doing a test shoot, and it's proves super helpful, especially when we're going to do the final shoot later on.
Totally.